So if you can actually shift faster than this car, I will give you this Miata. So it's the next morning, we're gonna pack up and head home and finish off this journey with you guys. So we're just stopping and filling up gas. We're gonna play the guess how much gas it's gonna take game. I think better be less than 50 liters because I've only gone 467.9 kilometers. And there it is, 38.622 liters of gas. So, you said you got the fuel economy challenge in the bag?
I don't know.
I seem to recall you saying, I won't win a 0 to 60, but I'll definitely win the fuel economy.
Okay, I guess it depends how you're doing it. If it's me against me, I got good fuel economy.
You against you?
Right. Like how we used to do the 0 to 60.
Against how your car should go.
How it should perform to how it does perform.
I've never heard of a fuel economy challenge done that way, but...
Why not?
Yeah. Like, obviously, if you brought a Tesla, you would beat everybody because you use no fuel.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, me against me.
I hear a bunch of backpedaling is what I hear. I don't even know what my fuel economy is yet.
You can Google it.
Well, no.
got a little scared
I know
when I
how
told
far
her
I
my
drove,
car
and I know how much gas it took.
rating.
So, how'd you do?
So, do you know what your current trip computer says your fuel economy is?
Like my liters per 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still holding at like 9.8.
9.8?
Yeah, 9.8.
And yours is what?
Turn the car on and start it, and when it's the top... Actually,
Do you have a way to find out?
I do, but I idled my car for a long, long time today. It's not going to be...
Yours will do lifetime and since you started it last, so you got to make sure you're looking at lifetime.
10.5.
What? Okay.
I idled it a long time today.
Well, what was it yesterday when you were bragging about it?
8.9.
8.9?
Yeah.
make a correction.
Jacob is making a correction to his claim.
It's 9.6.
Ooh, 9.6. Amanda's currently at 10 point something, but she said she idled a lot.
Well, I
She's
drove 500 kilometers and I idled for 8.5
8.5 kilometers.
hours.
What? On this trip?
Yeah.
Why was your car running for 8 hours not moving? That's a long time.
No. 8 hours to go 503 kilometers. I averaged 58 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
What'd you average? Did you say how?
Who knows? I averaged driving.
So how'd you do?
So mine went, hold on, I gotta double check my numbers. I went 468 kilometers since the last fill up. I filled up with 38.66 liters. So, including all of my idling and everything, because I don't have a fancy computer that does stuff. So including a bunch of 0 to 60 drag runs, racing around, blah, blah, blah. Which we all did. I averaged, according to this calculator, 8 point, you were what? 8.9
or 8.8.
8.8.
Anyway, either
or
way, I would
8.9
expect you to win a head-to-head. I didn't realize you were meaning head-to-head.
I didn't realize you were meaning something else. I thought you said I'll beat you all with fuel economy.
Yeah, like what yours was rated for to what you got.
I didn't. That's. Shouldn't you get what you're rated for?
I feel like if we were all...
Well, what's yours rated for?
I don't know.
Oh.
Look in the book.
So if yours is worse, then what? Anyway, according to this calculator, I got 8.26.
So you win that.
So I am the most fuel efficient vehicle out of the bunch. And in a heads up race, I think if we were to line up and have you and me lined up in like actual racing, it would be quite close.
I think so.
Because I don't think that you were really ever pulling away from me, but I wasn't coming up close. My worry was if a car comes and we're that close, like if you've got one that's a clear winner, it's easy for them to just pull ahead and then move in front. I'm actually surprised that I am the most fuel efficient because mine is revving at 4,000 RPM to go 110 kilometers an hour.
On the highway?
On the highway. Mine's only
fifth gear?
Mine's only a 5-speed, so they do make a 6-speed of this, which would make a huge difference. But my RPMs are crazy high at any highway speeds. Like all day yesterday, I was between 3,000 and 4,000 RPM.
That is crazy.
Everywhere we went. So I didn't think I would be very fuel efficient at those RPMs.
Let's face it, nobody looks at these three vehicles and says, gee, the Mercedes has got to be the best fuel efficient.
Well,
of those three
it is a
cars.
diesel.
I think though, because this is a little tuner car, mine's a muscle car. So
You know,
the initial
so
glance would
I've-
be thinking that it's got a V8.
I like that you keep calling it a muscle car, because when we were pulling out of the gas station and you step on it, your car makes a lot of noise but doesn't go anywhere. So it's not actually a muscle car. It fits into the racer car
It
category.
doesn't fit into that category at all.
Big
Looked
rims,
up
big
the actual
rims,
classifications.
slow acceleration, a lot of
It
noise.
doesn't have a class yet, but it's been accepted by muscle cars through the ages.
Because there is a muscle car version of it.
The Daytona or the Hellcat.
yeah.
I'm gonna put this in your guys'.
But
Mine is a very base model as you can get. So yeah, it's got a long ways to go.
yeah. A long
It
ways.
will never grow up to be a muscle car.
It will.
It's a sheep in wolf's clothing.
yeah.
Is what it is. 0 to, well, not even talking 0 to 60, heads up drag race. I think they're close, but you probably beat me just because I got gear shifts. So I would be hard pressed to win that race unless you were slow on the accelerator one time.
And or I put this in manual and overrode it. I never did that. I left
But
it
even
full
still,
auto.
it's just an automatic shifting gears
But
when
I
you
can
push a
force
button.
It to
Yeah,
red
but
line every time. But my red line's 4,500.
It still shifts in like milliseconds, whereas I shift in half a second.
right.
It doesn't shift in milliseconds. The automatic, shiftable automatic transmissions on any car are always way slower.
Yeah, but not as slow as a actual proper
Yes,
manual.
slow.
No,
if you
I think
manually
No.
select it, it's slower.
this
No.
one's fast.
No,
Guaranteed.
not as slow as a manual.
Maybe if you're shifting the manual.
Well, that's
I don't
what we're
know how
talking about.
slow
We're talking about Amanda shifting
I'm
versus
talking
me
the
shifting
average person,
an
the person
automatic.
who drives a manual shift it faster.
I think if we check that,
I can shift it faster than you shifting your automatic.
A lot of people
I
like
can
to
change
shoot.
through that gear quicker
I
than
don't
they.
you think you can shift a manual transmission faster than this Mercedes
Can push a
can
button.
shift when you push the button?
I haven't
That's what
been in
you're
this
saying.
one, but I would.
Don't talk about your broken car. Talk about like one that's working
had-
properly.
Remember, I worked at a dealership that
Yeah,
was just,
Ford
I drove
dealership.
all brand new vehicles
Yeah.
and tried out their manual.
I would be interested to see that you shift faster than this.
Well, I'm not going to drive your car. and
Well, how confident are you in this statement? Like if you were to put a percentage ratio on this.
a percentage ratio.
Yeah, like how confident are you that you can shift faster than an automatic transmission?
I said
I'm
no
pretty-
one ever.
I'm pretty.
Okay, so
hold on.
95%
clarify.
confident?
If you put that in automatic and let it do its whole thing.
No,
I'm not
so we're
saying
talking
you
about manual shift mode where you
Okay.
push the button and then it shifts.
I'm saying that if I drive
That car
maybe
right
not this
there.
car, but if I drive an or a manual transmission.
Okay, well we're
car-
talking about this car versus this car right now.
Okay, but I don't know how the clutch or the gear or the shifter
Okay.
respond in this one. So I need.
So if I gave you 10 tries, how
Yeah.
confident are you that one of those tries would be faster than pushing the button in this and seeing it shift? You can shift faster than this.
I can.
Guaranteed?
So,
Like,
I
would you be
I would
willing to
guarantee it.
put your blue car on the line for that? Like, if you can't pull that
I
off,
love that car.
I know. So this is why I'm asking, how confident are you in this statement? So if you can actually shift faster than this car, I will give you this Miata. I will give it to you.
I'm not gonna do that.
But if you can't, the blue car is mine. Property of GT Canada.
Well, I would never want to see
But if
it.
you're confident,
So
you're
I wouldn't
confident.
do that.
He's confident that it. How confident I asked? Confident.
I can't say.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Because
I'll tell you what. You tell me which car you can shift faster as a manual. That you can shift faster as a manual than this. Tell me which car that is. I will buy that car. We will test it. And if you can pull it off. Now I'm talking clutch. The moment the clutch is disengaged,
What if I don't use clutch?
you have to use a clutch. We're talking about a manual.
Yeah, I've shifted without a clutch many times with my manual.
You're gonna be
My
even
Fox body,
slower.
My Eclipse.
Okay, so then I'm talking about the time that it comes out of gear
Yeah.
to the time it's fully engaged into the next gear.
Versus the time you hit the button and it gets into the next gear.
Yeah.
I can
It's
beat
like-
it.
So you tell me which car that is, and maybe we'll do this another day.
I could do
I
it
will
in my
buy that
Eclipse.
car, and if you can actually pull that off faster than this, I will give you that car. But if you can't pull it off, the blue car's mine.
I'm not wagering my
Yeah, blue car's on the line.
I'm not wagering my
You got to put your money where your mouth is.
I don't have
Because
to.
I've never heard anybody ever in the history of automotive anything say, oh yeah, manual you can shift faster than an automatic. I've never heard anyone say
I
that.
can shift faster than an automatic transmission can shift.
No, but in
in
manual mode, you're saying I can.
delays between overriding it and doing the manual version.
Yeah,
of
you
an
push a
automatic
button and it shifts.
instant,
This
though.
is like instant. Like
Well,
so close to
That's
instant.
also why I'm not going to put anything up, because I haven't driven this car.
You've only driven your blue car, which has
I've driven my
funky
blue car.
problems in manual
I've
mode.
driven several brand new Ford vehicles, trucks, SUVs, cars in their automatic.
But I think that's part of the problem.
manual
You're talking
shift.
about Fords.
I've driven Acuras. I've driven everything.
And you
that
think
has an
they're
automatic
slow to
transmission.
shift with the
With
They're
manual mode.
slower than I can when I shift fast. I can shift fast.
I think you underestimate.
I think
the
you
fastness of your
overestimate your fastness of your shifts and underestimate the fastness of a push button shift.
shift. We'll have to leave this up to the viewers to decide.
No one can
You tell us in the comments below, how fast where would you put your
No.
money? On Jacob here.
that you can't
Oh,
say
I
that
get that
because
light.
they
No,
don't
no.
know anyone and I don't know them. But what you should ask them is how fast can they shift? And have they ever
If you
been
think that
automatic?
you can beat an automatic transmission push button manual mode, then you're team Jacob. And and
Sounds
and
like
if you
fun.
can't, then you're team GT Canada.
You're either for us or you're against
I
us.
just
So if we're backing up to the original statement, I was saying if I'm driving my car against Amanda, even though power to power we're dang close,
yeah,
every time I shift, I think that I would fall a little bit behind.
sure.
Because I'm not going to catch an automatic, period. Even if she goes into manual mode, I will not catch her in manual mode. I would go so far as to say that even you wouldn't win that race in that car. Because,
And I can't say yes or no because I've not driven either, so I can't compare.
and I would also say anybody in a manual car is not going to shift faster than a push button, Tiptronic, whatever you call it, paddle shifter. Viewers, tell me what your fastest shift time is and we'll compare it to the rated shift time of this thing. I don't think it happens. So as you can see, we all made it back here in one piece. I don't think for this trip that was really ever a question mark. Our budgets were a lot higher than our other trips that we've done with the budget vehicles before.
I'm ready for a shower.
You look like you're ready for a shower.
Shower and another nap.
Yeah, while we were driving, it put him to sleep.
Hey, did we have the windshield crack contest? Because I definitely.
Well, I
win
think
that.
I win that. Most
Or the
cracks
lack
win.
thereof.
Oh,
Cracks, you got more chips.
He's got some.
I got way more cracks than you. Ah. Okay,
Both
you
inside
might win. You might win. Oh, it's nicer today. The wind picked up last night and blew all the smoke away.
Does my car look brown now?
No, it hasn't looked brown. I don't know if it's my sunglasses, but I haven't seen the brown
The brown
in
shine?
it. We started out on this trip, does spending more money on a car make for a better road trip?
Okay. Do you know what the MSRP was of your car?
Of my car? I have
Back
no
when it was
idea.
new?
Did you look it up?
It might probably.
Why, are we going to have a depreciation contest? Because I think you win that.
I have the most depreciation, you mean?
Yes.
Or is that due to my shrewd negotiating powers?
Or is it the biggest depreciation?
He was.
So let's settle the low, medium, high first. The high car, I doubt anybody really guessed that it'd be something other than what it was. The Mercedes is the high car. But by how much, I think, would be surprising. So the next question would be, which of these two fine automobiles is the low car? Now I know everybody's probably thinking, well, of course it's the Miata because it's a pile of steaming poo. But
It's green poo, no less.
But as it turns out, this would be the low car and the Miata is the medium car.
In all fairness, this is the low car because it was a ridiculous deal. But
Was it a ridiculous deal?
it was.
Because it seems like it's also laden with problems.
It's not. It's got one problem I haven't even looked at.
Just one.
Just one.
Which one do you
The
think it
shifting.
is?
The shifting is the only problem,
With the RPM issue, which is the shifting.
which causes all the other problems.
A lot of other problems.
Well, your exhaust falling off
That got
not
back
falling
welded
off.
on.
that needed to be welded back on.
The stock exhaust is perfect.
Oh,
I just
so
chopped it off to make it louder because I wanted to hear it. And then my tack weld job was initially not
Was
so
just
good,
a
but
tack.
it's good now.
yeah, because you tested it driving into the sidewalk
That was a high curve.
to see if it would hold up.
It was a high curve.
Oh, back at the last stop, you
Yeah.
backed right into that?
So then the next question that we need to know though, so you got yours for about $1,000 bucks, 1,200 bucks, plus a long road trip to pick it up,
It was a process, but it was a deal.
and you got that for 6,000 Canadian, and I got the Miata. So then the question that I want to know is, was your road trip 3 times better than our road trip
100%.
because you spent 3 times more?
I think so.
And of course, you would have to say that it was, but I mean, part of the thing is, you didn't buy the car for this road trip. You bought the car for everyday life, and we went on a road trip. And you bought your car for everyday life,
Yeah, it's my
and went on a road trip. And I bought the Miata just because I wanted to go on a road trip in a fun car.
Right.
So, if I was looking for an everyday car, would I buy that Miata? No way.
Right.
The trunk's too small, there's no back seat, the convertible is fun. I had a blast on the road trip,
But every day you.
but I would not daily drive this car, especially with winter coming up. It was a fun car for this trip.
Right.
So as a road
Will you
trip
keep
car,
it?
will I keep that car? No, it's going for sale today. But because it was such a good value, I think that this car will sell $4,000 all day. I think $3,000 easy sale at 3,000. I'm gonna list it at 4, see how much interest I get, and then I'll either be firm or slightly flexible. But it's gonna sell to some lucky new owner that loves Miatas as much as I do, probably a little bit more.
Hopefully a little bit more.
Definitely a little bit more. You got to be that in love to pay that much for one of these cars. It was a fun car. It was totally fun, but it goes back to my theory on what makes a car fun. Small tires. This car doing 120 on the highway is the edge of fun. It's almost scary. At 130, 140, this particular car is actually quite scary, but that's because I know that the tires have cracks all the way around the outside edge, and it could blow at any time. And I would not like it to blow at 140.
No.
When we're talking about a road trip, mine was better on gas. Mine has the lowest kilometers. Mine was the most exciting. I don't think you guys would argue that it was the most exciting. You probably felt super safe in your car,
Sure.
and I never felt safe in this car.
So
And-
on a road trip, I do personally value safety a little bit to make sure that I feel safe, but I guess I would be having fun.
You want to do your road trip in that, and then stop somewhere and drive this for a while.
Mine does twisty's not bad for being heavy.
No, but
it's also the heaviest by a lot.
Sure.
Because you didn't even
And
mention
that adds to the safety feeling of the whole thing.
For what it is, I really like that car.
Sure, for a $6,000 Mercedes, you kind of are on the low end of what those sell for. They do ask for a lot more than $6,000. So, you know, in time, it'll always be worth $6K if it keeps running.
Right.
So,
as long as it runs and is good, it's good.
So as the high car, there's value in it. It's definitely the high car because you've got a lot more features and functions and whatever, and they all presumably work. You also have the highest kilometers.
Not
which,
by a ton.
No, but that would also explain why it was as cheap as it was. Mercedes drivers are nervous about kilometers once you get over 200,000, and the price plummets quickly once the kilometers rack up. Whereas on this, at 300,000 K, no one will even think twice about it because they're already going to be thinking about an engine swap or a full rebuild or whatever anyway. So the kilometers matter less. I think that they can throw a wide body kit on that and it would cover all that rust.
Drift it and smash it up anyway, or they're going to buy it to restore it, and
well, I'm curious. You should follow up with the viewers and let them know if you got anywhere close to what you think you
This car will be sold before you even see this video. So if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, I want to see how much he's selling it for. It's already sold, don't bother.
Check here or there.
Don't bother. And then this thing, you're planning to turn it into something.
Yeah, I got lots of plans, and that's why I bought it. But
it's going to become a secret Hellcat.
I think it's going to be my own build version of a Hellcat. But
so watch the channel to see Jacob's home-built Hellcat-ish secret build.
You should see his Dodge truck home version.
Yeah, the Dodge truck home build. You didn't see that because he didn't film it, but he's gonna film this.
And my truck is
so
awesome.
Be sure to like and subscribe so that you can see any progress on that. He might put it on his own channel.
They'll be on both.
What's your home channel?
For sure. I think it's Junkyard Built.
Junkyard Build?
Yeah.
You're not worried that it sounds exactly the same as Junkyard Build?
Isn't that what you said?
Build.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, that's already a successful YouTube channel.
Is it?
Yeah?
No, it's not.
Millions of viewers.
Well, how did you get Junkyard Build the same one?
I didn't.
Built to.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's got a Junkyard Built to with a T, not a D. Don't subscribe to the wrong channel here. We don't want to promote people that aren't within the family.
I thought you were saying Junkyard Bill.
Well, it could be Junkyard Bill. If you're Junkyard Bill, we want your channel. I don't know if there's really a real winner for this. If there's a winner, it's probably the Miata, because it was the best price to fun ratio for a road trip. But I don't think that these two were competing for that category anyway.
There was really no competition because you say it's the best fun to price, but then someone might say, I don't care about it fun, I want to have comfort.
Comfort.
You don't even compete at all.
Comfort, I do not win the comfort to price category.
It was what it was. It was a trip where we can come drive around and show off our cars and see some sights. But I just want to say that with all the like ups and downs of what this car has and what it could have and what it should have even stock, but there's problems so it doesn't. All that aside, it doesn't really matter because it still did the trip fine. It was never suffering from anything. It just lacked
except the 0 to 60
performance, yeah.
Or the heads-up race.
But he would have in every scene been wearing one change of clothes if it wasn't for my trunk to carry a suitcase. and
it's true.
He did say the trunk space is a little small.
It is small. Like, you got to travel light if you're driving a Miata.
I don't know if it's as smooth as that one, but this is as smooth as any new car you're really gonna find.
So if you were playing along at home, high, medium, low, and make sure to like and subscribe so you can check out all the other content we got, and when we do more trips like this, you'll get updates on those as they come out, and tune in next time. Till then, keep all four wheels on the ground.
I don't. We know that.
One thing I do want to tell you guys is that I would love at the end of this video to be able to give this car away to some of our viewers at home who appreciate what we're doing here. Unfortunately, we don't make any money on our channel right now, so I can't give this away because I had to use my own money from my own pocket, and I need that money back. So when we say like and subscribe to this channel, that helps us to actually start making money and give it back to the community. So if you really like what we're doing here, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel, because that will help us be able to do fun things like this and then give away some of these vehicles at the end, or the products that we're doing, or whatever it is that we're up to. That allows our viewers to be part of what we're doing and to benefit from the things that we're doing here. So please do like and subscribe to our channel, and in the future, stuff like this Miata could be yours through a YouTube contest. So make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.